Welcome to Money Talk for Real. I'm Nick, and this podcast is about making money, spending money, and everything in between. We all have money problems, whether they're small, large, or again, anywhere in between. This first episode, I'm going to talk about some of the biggest money traps that no one talks about. These are sometimes really sneaky and can catch you off guard if you're not careful. Most people don't go broke because of big mistakes. It's the small normal things that just kind of slowly drain their money every single day. And the worst part is that no one talks about them because they look and feel and appear to be completely normal. So I'm going to break down some of the biggest money traps that are quietly keeping people broke and how to avoid them. Now, these aren't obvious things like buying a Ferrari that you can't afford. These are everyday habits that most of the time feel completely harmless to people, but they certainly add up fast. And the comfort spending trap is what I would say is number one. And I'm using comfort spending in air quotes here. And what it is where you buy small things to feel better. It's a comfort thing. This can be food. This can be, taking runs to get coffee. This can be buying things on Amazon. You're not spending necessarily because you need it. You're spending because you feel like it. And it's dangerous because it doesn't feel like a problem, and which, in turn leads to it becoming a daily habit. The solution here is to replace this with what I'm going to call the pause rule, 24 hours. If you need it 24 hours later, maybe go ahead and buy it. Or if you still want it 24 hours later, maybe go ahead and buy it. But if it's just an impulse spend, a heat of the moment, feel good, emotional type thing, again, that's a trap. So moving on to number two that I have here is the quote, "It's only the insert blank, X amount of dollars trap. It's only $5. It's just $20, whatever it is." Nothing's expensive necessarily until you do it 30 times a month, right? I mean, think about the coffee you got from Starbucks. It's only $5. What can it hurt? Yeah, but if you do it once a day or sometimes twice a day, that's $10 a day, 5 days a week, sometimes 7 if you're doing it on weekends, times 4 weeks in a month, right? It adds up. It's kind of like the death by 1,000 cuts type thing. And if you multiply every purchase monthly, you can kind of see where this can get out of hand very quickly. Next, I'll talk about the subscription creep. And what I'm talking about are streaming services or apps or memberships that you forgot about. You don't feel it because it's automatic, and that's exactly why it works for these companies. It's invisible spending almost. You're their ideal customer. You're still paying for it because it's automatically drafted out of your account. You're automatically paying for it. And so what I would recommend here is to audit your subscriptions once a month at minimum. Just go through your bank statements and see what exactly you were charged for, because your bank statement is an actual report. That is actually what you spent. It's not what you think you spent. It's not what you budgeted. It's actually what you spent. Number 4 is lifestyle inflation. And yes, this is the trap, because when you make more, you spend more, right? You live on what you make. There's always somewhere for the money to go. Every raise that you get somehow disappears. Why is that? And I can't answer that for you, but this type of lifestyle inflation is what keeps you stuck no matter what income level you're at. And this happened to me personally, okay? To talk real numbers for a second, about 10 years ago, I was at a job making around $34,000 a year. And I was living fine, right? Not comfortably, but not scared either. I was just fine. Well, I got a new job, and the day one starting the new job, I was making about $25,000 a year more than I was at the old job. So not quite double, but a significant increase. Within 6 months, I felt the exact same. I didn't feel any more comfortable, even with a $25,000 a year pay increase, right? You live on what you make. If you have it, you're going to spend it. And this is what I'm calling the lifestyle inflation trap. So what I would recommend is to lock in your lifestyle, whatever it is, lock in your expenses, lock in everything before the income increases. So if you're living comfortably right now, or you have your necessities, you have your bills paid, lock that in. And then if you have extra income, whether it be a part-time job, a side hustle, or maybe just a new job or even a pay raise at your current job, still live on your lifestyle now because, again, you're locking that in. Just take the extra money and save it or invest it. Don't keep living on more because you made more. Number 5 is what I'm going to call the I deserve this purchase. And what it is basically just rewarding yourself too often. Okay, you think, I've had a long day. I deserve this shirt. I deserve these shoes because I just went through some trauma. Or I just had something really good happen. Or my son won his baseball game this evening, so I deserve to go get a bunch of food that I'm overpaying for, right? If everything is a reward, okay, then nothing is a reward. And this can be a slippery slope because emotional justification can lead to endless spending. So I would set actual reward rules or milestones. Come up with something, whatever it is in your life, it's going to be different for everyone, and set those actual rules in place. If X happens, then we get a reward, not just impulse rewards, right? If everything is a reward, then nothing's a freaking reward. It's not a treat at that point. Number 6 is you're buying too much house or you're buying too much car. Maybe you got a little overzealous and you thought that a 4,000 square foot house was a must have, but it's just you and your spouse, no kids, no dogs. Maybe 4,000 is not what you need, right? Maybe that's not a must have, that is a want. And this obviously, same thing with a car. You think, that Tahoe is great until it's $1,000 a month payment and you're stretching your budget for the payments. Just because you can afford the payment doesn't mean that you can afford the life. Okay. And don't live the comparison lifestyle to keep up with the Joneses. This can lock up your cash every single month if you're not careful. Monthly payments are very dangerous. And not just the monthly payment, but also think in total cost. If you have a bigger house, that's more air conditioning, more heat, more water. Your electric bill is going to go up. If you have a bigger car, a more expensive car, the parts for that car are going to be more expensive. The fuel, the tires, the keeping the car clean and healthy is going to be more expensive. So the bigger the stuff, it's not just a monthly payment. You're also thinking in total cost to own and maintain and be a part of that stuff. The next trap I'll talk about here is the I'll figure it out later trap. And it's basically where you're avoiding budgeting, you're avoiding tracking money, you're avoiding planning money, you're avoiding talking about money. Some people get so stressed out over money, they just don't want to think about it, don't want to talk about it. Well, it's your money, it's your life. No one's coming to save you. So you need to think about it. You need to pay attention to it. If you need to obsess over it, it'll be okay. You can track your finances and plan and be responsible financially. If you don't tell your money where to go, it will disappear. I promise you. Just trust me. I've been through that. And if you have no awareness or knowledge of your money, then you have no control of your money. So I would, recommend some sort of tracking. It can be very simple. It can be very rudimentary, elementary. Even if you just do it on your notes app on your phone, something to just track your money. Where are you spending it? How much are you making? And don't lie to yourself. Be very truthful here. So another kind of trap that I see sometimes is you're saving money because you bought something on sale. If you're buying something because it's on sale, you think you're saving money, but really you're spending money. You didn't save any money, you spent it. For example, if you bought something for $500 that was marked down from $800, you may say, well, I saved $300. But the reality is, no, you spent $500. Just because it's on sale doesn't mean you have to buy it. It may feel smart at the time, of course, but ultimately you're spending money. It's increasing your spending, right? So only buy what you already planned to buy and or what you need. Which I guess kind of leads into the next trap, which is just keeping up with people around you, keeping up with the Joneses, the comparison lifestyle. You're trying to match what your friends are doing, what your coworkers are doing, maybe what people on social media are doing. You're trying to keep up with people who might be in debt. You do not know their situation. And you may even feel obligated. You may feel that it's rude to not go to lunch with coworkers. You don't want to say no. You have FOMO. You don't feel like you're missing out on something. There is no shame in saying, hey guys, I brought my food today. They don't have to know the details. They don't have to know why, right? They can think you're broke or think you're poor or whatever term you want to come up with, but for all they know, you have $1 million in the bank, right? Don't compare yourself to everyone else. Everyone else's situation is different. This is, the keeping up is the external pressure, right? And external pressure, whether it's peer pressure or others, can lead to very bad financial decisions. So define your own goals and try to stick to them. And that ties back into the planning and tracking and budgeting stuff I was talking about earlier. The next trap, and kind of the last one I have on my list, is the waiting to get serious. And this is a trap because you tell yourself, well, I'll just start saving later. And later can be the most expensive decision you can make because lost time is lost compounding. So start small immediately. Don't say, well, I'm going to wait, the first of the year I'm going to start, or the first of the month I'm going to start, or the next paycheck I'm going to start. No, start now. Go ahead and get into the mindset. It may not be, thousands of dollars right now, but you can start getting into the mindset. Now, none of these traps or none of these things that I've talked about will destroy you overnight necessarily, but over time, they will absolutely keep you stuck if you're not careful. If you can avoid even a few of these traps, you'll be way ahead of most people because most people are broke. There's people that say normal is broke. And if you're not broke, then you're weird. And I agree with that 100%. So, hopefully this helps. I'm going to try to keep doing some episodes like this because I do enjoy talking and I enjoy talking about money. So we'll see what this goes here on episode 1 of Money Talk for Real. Thanks for listening.